And guys, before we go any further, just sipping the tears of all the haters. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Guys, you know why we're here. Earlier on today, we had some breaking news. Somebody was giving it a here we go ish. And then we found out that somebody was flying in to have a medical. Deal done. We got Xerxes, which we were all a little bit excited for. This one, I'm not gonna lie, has got my juices flowing. It feels like the club is back to pissing people off. Southampton, we took Wilcox. Newcastle, we did their boy there. Barada, Man City, did we piss him off? Doesn't matter. We got their top boy. And those Liverpool fans are crying on Twitter. FSG out apparently is trending because we signed Yoro. Guys, talk to me. Don't talk to me then.
Who's gonna? Okay.
Right, let's go clockwise order.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
sorry. Was I supposed to give an order? Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's not free for all. Let's have some order, some parliamentary proceedings. Even though we're excited, super excited. What a great intro, Mr. B. I'm going to share that excitement. I feel I'm not going to sip whatever you're sipping there. Looks like you don't drink a lot of water. That's like me. That's the color of my pee. What you got there? But anyway, let me say this.
Omondi, go to the doctors, please.
I need to. Yeah,
Yeah, you do.
It's golden,
Jesus.
like the cups
Jesus,
will be.
someone-
No one
Really?
cares, Monday.
Anyway, let's get back to the real thing, man. I am super excited. You know, like I just feel super proud today. If I'm ordering a new Man United shirt, it's going to be XXXXXXXL because my chest is swell up today. No doubt, no doubt. We feel good as a fan base. We've been patient, we've endured, and now we're sensing that something big's about to happen. I'm sure everybody's going to have a look at Euro, and we're excited about this young man. No matter what we say, he might have some limitations, and maybe hasn't done in the Prem or whatever. We are excited because this is somebody. Few factors. Real Madrid wanted him, which means he's a top boy. If you look at Real Madrid's recent signings of young players, Endrick, or whatever his name is, he's superstar Brazilian, Mbappe, young-ish. They brought Vinny Jr., Rodrigo. They don't miss a beat when it comes to signing the next big thing. And we just said, stop, we're back. You need to compete with us. We're going in, and we did. Granted, they wanted him, but they weren't prepared to go to the levels and show him how much they wanted him. Now, there will be a bit of criticism to say this guy didn't really want to come to us, but surely he's been advised correctly. We're Man United. We're on the up. This is a good move for the young man. I don't want to hear any negativity in the chat or on the panel. Otherwise, you're going to have me to deal with. Over to you, United philosophy.
Yeah, Joe, I would agree with you there, Monday. I think it's a very positive day. Like players choosing us over Madrid, that's a good sign. And yeah, look, I know last season wasn't what any of us really wanted, but I would take this as a sign of encouragement from people within the footballing world, within the industry, that they feel like we're going places. It might take a while. I don't think we're going to be winning league titles for a season or two or anything. I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but it's definitely steps in the right direction. And yeah, I mean, if Madrid wanted him, their record with young players recently, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, everyone you've been listing off there as well. There's clearly a lot of talent there. He's an exciting player to watch in terms of his potential, where he is already as well. He's at a very high level, but he's only going to get better. And I think that's the most exciting thing about Leny Yoro. And yeah, look, I think that we needed centre backs. We've got one. Let's see what happens if we get another one. And yeah, look, it's definitely a very good deal. I think it caught us all off guard, really. I don't think anyone expected David Ornstein to be popping up at 9 o'clock this morning saying, yeah, this guy's coming for a medical. But here we are. Here we go. It's done. So looking forward to it.
Here we go.
It got my juices going. Not maybe like you guys, but yeah, it was really it was really exciting for me. I think this is the most excitement about transfer since Cristiano Ronaldo. And that one was interesting because I was on the Snake Island, in the middle of the shift. And when I found that, I mean, I almost, started, literally crying when we signed Ronaldo once again, even though, I mean, it ended up bad, but, it was exciting times for me. But this one is so much sweeter. Like, he's a youngster. He obviously said that he would prefer Real Madrid, but I think he understands that he would probably have to sit down for 1 year and wait for his opportunity. He's still young. He needs a lot to learn. And I think he has a lot of potential. His ceiling is really high. I should probably catch up on some of the clips and his previous games to see a bit how good he is, what are his strengths, his weaknesses, what can we expect of him. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited because it is, United are buying once more a world-class talent, because this guy, you can argue he is considered world-class talent because everyone wanted him. Every big club in Europe wanted him. Chelsea, Real Madrid, like everyone. So this is very encouraging. I'm really excited. I hope that we see more use of us strengthening, our squad, our starting 11. Firstly, especially that center back. I need another center back because we just need another center back. There are some rumors, which we will talk about further in the stream, but we need another midfielder as well. And you know what? This is an encouragement. This is, this is a sign that Ineos is serious about this, and they wanted to start really strong in the beginning of their cycle as, United, I would say, football board. I would define them like that. So yeah, it's really, I was really happy today. I am a happy girl today. Besides my new haircut and everything, Euro deal, I was really happy about it.
I'm absolutely delighted, and I wish that I could play everyone the message that Mr. B sent this morning. It sounded like he was hanging out of his sunroof, just screaming along the streets of London. It's great, and I think, sort of, to back up what everyone else says, it does feel like a little bit of a landmark to me. Like, I can remember years ago, I think it was Matt Judge, and I think the player was Stefan. Who's the right back at PSG? Hakim or something?
Hakim Ziyech. Hakimi,
yeah.
I think we got linked with him, and his agent said something like they rang him up, they rang the club up to do some discussions, and Matt Judge switched his phone off at 6 o'clock on a Friday and didn't turn it on again until Monday. And we were a bit of a laughing stock. We did very silly things, but Yoro, we have paid a little bit over the odds for him, but everyone wanted him, and everyone thought he was destined for Real Madrid, that there was no point getting involved. But those clever little buggers from France, like Ineos, who've been at Nice and all this, they know what they're doing, and this is generally a massive coup. We just might have to. I think we might just have to dampen our expectations on him a little bit, because he is 18 years old, and we're going to have to be as gentle as we have been with Kobe and with Garnacho and stuff like that, and not just instantly expect that we've signed John Terry or something. But I'm absolutely delighted. I can't believe the club have done this. It's great.
All right, look, before we go any further, there's a couple of newbies in the house. Can we just give them a little shout out there, please?
Yeah, most certainly. Big up everybody who's joined us today. We're really happy with the turn up. It's like a sign, isn't it? It's like a new signing. People turn up a new signing. We're here to talk about him. Les Tutus de Matcha. It says Ellie, or someone help me.
That means I'm on Olympic Marseille.
Okay, that
Ale.
means
Greenwood.
Greenwood, of course.
Yeah.
Big up Hydro, big up Darko, big up everyone as well who's come in, that we use usual suspects. We want to say a special hi to Helga, Kamami, Kovic, and he says good evening.
Solvik.
Solvik.
Oh, Solvic, yeah.
You need
That's
glasses.
what I said. I'm starting Helg, Kamami, Solvic. Welcome to the agenda. You've got a lot of things to say. I'm going to grab some of the comments you said. And big up to everyone else who's come in, the usual suspects. We'll read all your comments out when we can. Big up to We Deserve Better as well. Big up to Bilal. And here we go again with Helg, Kavami, Solvik. He says, let's hope Ashworth gets Slubhead, Lindelof and Casemiro out, and Delit and Ugarte in. I just hear a big sigh from the bottom left there half time. And finally, Helga is saying, help me. I think a man of Ashworth's caliber can get stuff to happen in January window as well. Bigging up the man, Dan Ashworth. And he gets a lot of bigs ups on his show, doesn't he, Big G? He says, Dan Ashworth is a bit of a legend already. What do you think, bath time?
you know my
Tell the story for those who don't know. Tell the story.
No, I'm not. We tell this every week. I'm not telling this story again. I don't like him, and he destroyed me. And it's very annoying seeing him getting praise from random people.
We're not random. He's a member of the extended Man United family now. He's not just.
But it's on Twitter, isn't it? Like everyone like Ashworth is a boss and things. I can tell you he's many things, but not a boss. And I can't wait for him to leave.
Well, time you did have a couple of stats or some, yes, just something for visualization.
All right. I've got a little picture here, which Dora didn't understand, so I'm going to try and talk everyone through it.
I didn't see. Okay. Let's clarify. I haven't seen. I couldn't see. Sorry.
Dora, I put this up, and you said some stuff about Jackson Pollock, the painter. But anyway.
Good one.
I'm very impressed with your knowledge of art.
Brilliant.
All right, on the left is headers, on the right is tackles, and in the top right you can see where Yoro is and how big his ball is how many like accurate forward passes that he's played. So like Witsel, Van Dijk, and Yoro are standouts there. Put it into context. You've got Gay right at the bottom, and also one of my favourites, Fabian Schär. But this is kind of to illustrate like the ceiling that Yoro potentially has. He's basically called himself, he's been called the Mbappe of centre-backs, which I find quite amusing. But we've got a generational talent, and it's now up for us to develop him so that he does hit the levels of a Virgil van Dijk, a John Terry, a Rio Ferdinand. So I thought that was a good illustration of it.
Yeah, so what we're seeing here, bath time, basically him, that big old red circle, and being in that sort of area of this graph means that he's very good at aerial duels, and also the duels one, and ball playing forward passes. Is that right? Is that what we're seeing here? So we can have bragging rights over players like William Saliba. Can you see him? Ruben Diaz as well, and who was there? Van Dijk. He's in and around that Van Dijk category, but obviously we have to gauge it. He's coming to the French league. But one thing I would say, he's tall, he's lean, he's mean. He plays, for what I've seen, reads the game really well, and we can only improve. So next season, that red circle will be like James and the giant peach, that sort of size, taking up the whole screen. I love this. I love this graphic, even though I don't really understand it. And I love that reference from the painter.
Why is it so hard to understand?
Because
it's really easy. It's easy.
Okay.
Yeah, it is easy, isn't it? Is it? Stefan, you're a man of culture. Do you understand what this means?
Yeah. I think it's a little bit, maybe a lot of text in it. Maybe it's not the most readable he ever made this up, but I mean, I get it. He's obviously good in the air. He's good on the ground. He can play the ball forward. It's a lot of what we want in our centre backs. Obviously, there's more things to consider, but yeah, I mean, he's starting off at a very good level, and hopefully, it's just going to keep going up and up and up. So, yeah, let's just see how he goes.
He's got a really weird body shape, doesn't he? He's like the leggiest man I've ever seen.
He's like an antelope.
Well, he reminds me of
Gazelle.
a young Patrick Vieira, the way he's built. Where 90% of his body is just legs. And I'm
be a
really
rooftop model.
Yeah,
he would be a rooftop model.
I'm really interested how he develops physically. To be honest, like Mr. B, what do you reckon? Do you think that like he's going to be a bit like Ronaldo and absolutely explode when he fills out a little bit and gets the muscle mass and stuff?
Well, he has to. He's 6 foot. I wouldn't like to think he's going to stay, slim for too long. I mean, Real Madrid, don't they put their players on like muscle building programs? Because after like 6 months, their players always look, like they've done a bit, right? Maybe Brailsford being in might help us in that way a bit, but I'm hoping that he does fill out. I mean, he's got a lot of growing to do still. So yeah, he hopefully he'll grow into his frame and he's not going to stay scrawny.
I would say this though. I mean, you're 6 foot tall. I remember Razor Ruddock was getting weighed and he was like 15, 16 stone, which is too heavy. And he's about 6 foot tall. And they were saying he's overweight and that kind of thing. The ideal weight for me, for someone that sort of height, being a centre back, is about maximum 13.5, 14 stone, which is about light heavyweight around that region or cruiser.
Sorry.
82 kilograms?
For somebody who's what? 6 foot 2?
6 foot 4, 5, whatever he is. He should be lean, mean, and strong. We look at athletes.
One day.
You're
talking going to eat.
No, come on now. Have you seen his legs? Now, like I say, I mean, he's very strong. He's got good base there, and he needs to be physical, being lean as well. Being lean doesn't mean you're weak. You got to be big and strong, have that balance as well. He needs to grow a little bit into his frame, but that comes from becoming a man. He's on that transition now from 18 years old to 21 years old, where he will probably be complete as his man strength. He will bring that man strength. It's true. It's true.
Yeah, no, but we want to build like Varane, don't we? Like, so not overtly muscular like an Upper Meccano or something. Like just sort of lean and powerful.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, just going back to me. I'm 6 foot 5, right? And when I was younger, I used to be lean and mean. And I was a centre back, and I was tall, imposing. The only issue I might have had is my balance. When there's someone short or squat like you, bath time, would push me off the ball with your big ass, that kind of thing. But otherwise, I was imposing, and that was a perfect height for my position, And I think he's the same. I look at him and I think that could have been me 30 years ago or something, Because I would have been 18, 30
a
years
£50
ago.
million centre back.
Could have been.
Can I ask you? Do you weigh more than 82 kilograms now?
I do now. Yeah.
Is it double?
I'm about 140 kilograms.
Jesus, my
about 21 stone, which is
how much?
I'm about 21, 22 stone now, which is bad. Really bad.
Well, let's hope he doesn't get to that level.
Well, not during the season. But my point is, he needs to stay that. I like his frame, stay that way, lean and mean, and he can just be strong enough to hold off these great attackers that we have in the Premier League. I do recall watching him against Aston Villa last season, and someone like Watkins did kind of run him a bit ragged. Not too much of a concern for me though, because he'll be up against that every week, and it's time to step up his game and deliver. This is a guy playing at Man United. He'd probably be told he'd get into the French squad quite soon, as in the first team. There's so much potential with this young man, and I just don't think we should worry too much about his frame. 18 years old, by the time you're 21, you'll be filled out as a man, and that's when we see the true strength, natural strength of the young man.
Cool. Now we know how much Omondi weighs. And you're 6'5". I mean, I'm embarrassed. I'm 163 centimeters, so it's like 5'3" in your, measurings. 5'3", 5'6", 5'4". Sorry.
But you're not the shortest on this panel, I don't think.
Oh,
Yes.
Monday.
I know you ain't. I know
Sorry,
you're talking about me.
sorry, Stefan.
Stefan,
I don't know.
I'm
I
sure-
haven't catching straight. I want to.
Yeah.
Sorry, Stefan. How tall are you? You're
about
taller-
about 5'9" on a good day. That's about it.
Good one.
So Stefan would be a great midfielder with bath time. Imagine that.
Yeah,
We have bath
good
time
fight,
as Stefan in
Stefan.
midfield. We have
Yeah.
Dora probably as a marauding fullback, and Mr. B obviously is a natural winger. It's short
Roberto
guy.
Carlos.
Yeah.
And you'll just be blocking the whole bloody goal if you're on the
Yeah, I'll be throw me in goal.
Guys, obviously, we're really happy with the Euro deal. Is it wrong to ask who's next?
No.
No.
I don't think so. Like, I think this is so it got us all excited, but I think that Ineos has obviously eyes for other players.
What did I miss?
Don't read the comments, guys.
Yeah, don't read it. Don't read them.
What did I miss?
And oh my god, my thoughts just went away from my head. Sorry, just give me a sec. Okay,
What are you picturing, Dawn?
I'm picturing what I wanted to talk about next time. Shut up. We are talking
I
about
knew when
transfers.
you did someone else say that.
Oh my god. Okay, so I think after the news broke out today that we signed Euro, and immediately, I think the journalist from Germany, Plettenburg, if I'm not mistaken, he said that we are kind of, we probably won't go for the Ligt, which isn't something that I want. I want us to probably sign the Ligt, but apparently they prioritize Euro because the Ligt was kind of 50 mil plus add-ons, and it could have went up to 60 million, which is a bit much for Ineos to spend right now at this moment. But I feel that we could get him. If not him, after today's experience, I believe I said it previously on these streams that I don't believe that United are going to sign Gerard Brandtweit. That Everton is probably going to keep him because they are going to fight for
I hope they get
to
relegated.
stay. Sorry.
I hope they get relegated.
Yeah, probably. We want their players. I mean, I would love that as well. So they get so they are cheaper and everything. But I actually believe that we could sign him right now because I mean everything is possible after today. But yeah, I think Ineos got serious. They understand that we need to strengthen our starting 11, and I think with more outgoings in the future. We can make it happen. And honestly, I cannot wait. I think that we should sign at least one more center back and a defensive midfielder. And if we, at the end of this transfer window in August or at the beginning of September, if I see that we sign Zirkzee, what's his face, Yoro, maybe the Lictor Brandtweit, and either, some kind of center defensive midfielder, maybe Ugarte, maybe someone else, I would be extremely happy with this transfer window. Now, on paper, it's really exciting. Of course, we will need to wait and see what is going to happen, at the beginning of the season, and how are we going to play at least until Christmas or even November. But yeah, I would be really happy with at least two more signings for Manchester United.
Part-time. I know you haven't said anything.
Yeah, I think we are going to get De Ligt. I'd be absolutely stunned that we've essentially agreed. I just think, Mr. B, we're doing a bit of brakemanship now. We're saying that Yoro was our top target, our only centre back target, and we're going to try and buy him sweat, and it's going to be done much nearer the window. Normally, I'd be a bit against this, but then I realised that I'm pretty sure De Ligt will understand. Yeah, but he'll also understand the system. So it's not necessary. It might not be necessary for him to do a huge preseason with us. Like he'll understand that Ten Hag wants him to do crazy stuff like track his man to the halfway line and play at right back and all these things that we do. But I think that with Yoro, we're going to have to be patient with him because Monday was talking about Ollie Watkins and stuff. I mean, there are random players in the Premier League like Jordan Ayew who will just do you one day. Like every week, you've got to be on the top of your game. So getting in De Ligt, who's an experienced international. I know he's only 24, but he understands the system. He's Dutch. They're all bloody Dutch now. Wouldn't surprise me if Yoro turned out to have a bit of Dutch in him. But I think I said this morning that I felt that United had just taken a massive amount of methamphetamine on Monday and have just been moving at such a pace. It's unbelievable. Greenwood gone, Donny gone, Aaron Wan Bissaka about to go. Bye-bye, all three of you. And then we've got like Yoro in, we've got Xerxes in. God knows what's going to happen in the next couple of days. We're moving like crackheads at the moment. It's absolutely incredible.
Crackhead shiftings. You got to remember
exactly.
That. They don't eat, they don't sleep, they just work. So that's what. Yeah, we let them pop those pills and what they're doing until the 5 weeks are over. Obviously, bath time. Just now, you just mentioned Wan Bissaka, player who maybe divides the fan base to a certain extent, but I do believe it is time for him to move on. He's got a year left on his contract. He's been linked with West Ham. Yes, we did pay 50 million. We got mugged off. We know. But talks seem to be going pretty well with West Ham at the moment. We good to see Wan Bissaka leave. And obviously, if he does go, we're going to need a replacement because Dalot can't play the 50 games that we're going to be playing this season. Thoughts? Bath time, start with you, man.
We haven't heard from Stefan for a bit. So
haven't we? I'll go to Stefan then.
Very kind of you guys. Joe, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind selling Wan Bissaka. I was watching a show earlier, and they made a very good point that this is his 4th or 5th year, so his amortized deal is pretty much paid off. Yes, so that's done. So if we do get 20 million, then that would be 20 million that we have in our books now that we can go out and spend on other players. I think in terms of the academy, there's not really right backs coming through at the minute that I can think of off my head. And then there's talks about that Turkish guy. I think it's like Ferdi.
Oh my God.
Ferdi well. I just know his name's Ferdi. I cannot pronounce his
Kadi Waglu. Kadi Verlaglu.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Kadioglu.
So, yeah.
That's the guy. That's the guy. I knew you'd work it out. I knew you'd work it out.
That's the guy. And I remember I sent this to Bath Time like last week, and like I was just looking at it again. I've got it in front of me. The guy's played 66 times at left back. He has played 45 times at right back. He's played 56 times as attacking midfield. He's played defensive midfield 36 times. So that could be like a pretty nice utility player. He's right-footed. He played left back for Turkey at the Euros. He probably can do a job at right back as well. So you could potentially bring that kind of versatile option in. He might do something.
I
think it's Fenerbahce. I think it's Fenerbahce. I think it's Jose.
Yeah.
And
he ain't giving us shit.
Yeah, but there was talk about Fenerbahce wanting Lindelof. Maybe something could be done there. I don't know. Maybe one. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like thinking ahead of myself and reading too much into it. But I wouldn't be against selling Wan Bissaka. You know, the deal's paid off. We can put that profit into the books. We can spend that this summer, and that probably gets us 2 players if you pay 10 million up front. So that could be decent deals there. So I guess we'll just wait and see. But I think it is Wan Bissaka's time to go. I don't think he's really improved too much since he's come here. I think he's had really good matches, good moments and stuff, but technically his levels are pretty much the same as what they were at Palace. And I don't think that's too unfair to say. I don't know if anyone would disagree with me.
I just want to go to a couple of comments about this topic because it's raging in there right now. Reggie Verse is saying here, good evening, peeps. Things are hotting up. first centre back. Now we need to get a top DM. That's fantastic, and we can make money on player sales as well, and break evens. Big up to Sub Vids as well. It's a Mount would be like a new signing. Now you asked a question about what's next. Tyron saying we need a left back, and you just discussed that Turkish guy as well. Big up to Noah. He's saying hi to everyone in the chat, on the panel. That is. Big up to Mitesh Patel. How you doing? Big wave right back at you, bro. Andrew Williams saying I was at Swansea, hard worker and extremely underrated as well. Lindelof will stay as chat sport. We've got Lucky Singh saying working exit for Victor Lindelof, so he's been that one to go. Regiverse saying, I don't think we need another centre back. We've got our boy Martinez, who just won the Copa America, and free back in Harry Lindelof and the young guys as well. Helge is saying here, heard whispers that from Howson, the Stephen Howson, that Wan Bissaka is probably, I think he's trying to say,
to be continued.
Okay, we soon find out when he learns to type in English. Tyron saying here, I'm glad Wan Bissaka is going. Great news. Andrew Williams saying he's a fan of Wan Bissaka, and Wan Bissaka has interest from West Ham. There you go. That's the reply from our Norwegian friend. And Emma saying here, she'd honestly miss Wan Bissaka as well. So take that, Stefan, because you're quite happy to see him leave.
Oh.
I'm
sorry I've offended Emma there, but not I don't know, just not for me. I think it's at that point now where he's got a year left, and they'll either sell or extend, and I just can't see us extending, to be honest. But who knows?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a shame because Wan Bissaka was an interesting player when we signed him, like a sort of an ex left winger, I think, that had done a shift in training, sorted out Zaha, and became one of the top right backs in the league. But he didn't develop. Like, he had a really good first 6 months to his career. Then COVID happened, and he's never really got back to it. And we've seen him kind of retreat into his shell, and instead of like working on crossing and all these different things, he's basically become a slide tackle merchant. Like that's really all he sort of does now. And I think that when we sort of consider Yoro coming to the club with high potential, we should see Wan Bissaka as a bit of a kind of cautionary tale, alongside Anthony Martial, about how when we get these players in, we have to develop them now. And I hope that when as Wan Bissaka goes, I wish him well. I've just about forgiven him for the FA Cup final 2 years ago, but not quite. I hope he goes on and has a good career. But 15 million is absolutely lovely, because we're pretty good with FFP at the moment, but we're absolutely dying for cash flow. We've got no money. We can spend 250 million if we want, but we just don't have it in the bank.
Okay, interesting that. So Wan Bissaka, it looks like unanimous. I don't want to rush to get him out the door very soon, and if that's the case, then fair enough. But I think he's done us a good service, and I think I'd be disappointed. I'm disappointed with the reaction to him leaving and saying he's not all that. He's just a slide tackle merchant and all that. I think he's done more than that. I think if he goes off to another Premiership team, for example, we will be looking at him saying, "Oh my God, that's a decent right back." And we didn't really to let him go, like we were, because it's always Delo, Wan Bissaka, Delo, Wan Bissaka.
Yeah, but that's all we had.
Yeah, true.
On day. Yeah, but who would you rather play? Who of the two, Delo or Wan Bissaka? Who would you rather play? And then the player coming in, would you rather they played more like Wan Bissaka or more like Delo?
Maybe Delo. I agree. Like I was watching Kyle Walker. He's supposed to be one of the best right backs in England, or in the Premier League. And in the final the other day, he had a great opportunity to get a cross in, and he skied it. And I was thinking, wow, you're a pro footballer. This should be bread and butter for you. And he couldn't even do that. So you want to see, I think Delo's got better technical ability in the final third. I think, it's not to put anything a downer on Wan Bissaka, because he has got a lot of strength, but that's more on the defensive side of the game. He, like Barthelme was saying about development, and I saw a comment from We Deserve Better as well, saying that we've only last year we developed players. It's just a disappointment. We spend so much money on someone, and it doesn't seem to have been much of an improvement with him. But
what would you give him as a signing out of 10?
I think he's a 7 for me. I think he was
well above average.
You think he's been
Yeah,
that high?
50 million.
yeah.
You think he's
During
been
the
that
era
high?
where we've been poor, there's not many great right backs out there. At one point, we were talking about him getting for being in England set up.
Yeah, but that's because he plays for Man United on Monday. Come
I
on,
don't
man.
think so. I think it's because of his form. Do you remember the Paris game and things like that? I mean, you guys, I'm trying to like just remind you. Seems like you've had a memory
Yeah,
lapse
no,
about
listen,
what
man. I've heard
Wan
you
Bissaka
talk,
was
man.
doing.
I know. You forget all the bad things. You're like a priest, man. You forget all of their shit. You know what I mean? Oh, well done. Don't worry. No, Monday,
Absolution.
man. Yeah, that's the one. Bloody absolution, man. No, I'm not feeling these players who aren't good enough. I just want God. I want technical players. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want players who, if they're in the position to cross the ball, won't be skyly, obviously, like you were saying. Walker did.
To be fair with Delo, I like Delo a lot. He's got a lot of things that I enjoy, like work rate and things like that. But he also, I feel, lacks a little bit technically, and we've always boosted his technical ability because we compare him to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Like England at the moment have a lot of pretty good right backs. Like there might be an argument about Trent, but no one can doubt his technical abilities. You've got Reece James. You've got
He's just fat. You talk about Luke Shaw. You see the size of Reece James?
Yeah, but I mean, the man hasn't got out of a hospital bed for about a year, has he?
And
It's like,
when he does, he fights on the sidelines and gets suspended, doesn't he? So yeah.
yeah, but like when he's fit, he's a really, really good player. Like, I like him a lot, but you can see all the things they sort of bring, and all we really got from Aaron Wan-Bissaka was his ability to shut down one side of the pitch, which whilst great, isn't going to really get you isn't going to win your football matches. And that's the issue, is that I think that any right back who comes in, like for example, Dumfries and Frimpong are the ones that are always linked with us. Like they're coming in because of their ability to sort of play higher up the pitch and recover the space in behind them, but also add an attacking dimension. And I think that Aaron Wan-Bissaka has shown he can't really do that. And Delo, I think, has got to make much bigger strides forward. Like this season. What I want to see is attacking output increasing a lot.
Is that in regards to direct passes or actual assists?
Well, I think, right, like last season we saw Garnacho used all over the place, right, left, right. There was no sort of pattern or rhyme to it. But what we always saw was Delo behind Garnacho. Like 90% of the time, that was one of the combinations on the wing. And I don't think that they linked up particularly well. Like we didn't see like Delo sort of bursting on the outside. We saw this really weird move from goal kicks where he would suddenly appear at centre forward to try and score. But what I'd like to see is him holding the width, and when he gets the ball, being able to put in a great cross or something like that, and like being able to look after the ball a bit better under pressure. And of course, it's not very sexy, but improve his throw-ins.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, look, Andrew Williams called me Aaron Wan-Bissaka hater. I wouldn't say a hater, but when we signed him, I expected much more from him, because it feels like, as you guys said, it feels like his progression never really, continued. Unfortunately, is it because of COVID? Is it because of some other factors? Is it because our coaches under Ole weren't good enough to get through him? Under Ten Hag, he kind of did improve when it comes to attack. He started going much more in the attack. He would cross more. I always liked his passes to the edge of the opposing box, where there would be someone like Bruno, McTominay, and he would create spaces, and he did create some really good chances for us from those areas. But I feel that, people are saying that Wan Bissaka is a great defender. Maybe one-on-ones, but I never felt that he was defensively sound when it comes to his defensive positioning. He would, always fall back from his man. He would be too deep. He would try to catch them. That's why he's always too far from his opposing players, because he relies too much on his tackles. And I don't think you can play football in today's game like that. If he was, I think his skills are just in the wrong era. I think if he developed at least some kind of defensive ability or positioning, I would say, and realized, okay, I cannot constantly drop back from my defender to try to slide tackle him, I think he would be a good player. But unfortunately, we spent 50 million pounds on him, or euros. I'm sorry, I'm not sure. Bought him from Crystal Palace at 21 years old, and when he was 21 years old, and unfortunately, he's almost the same player that he was when we signed him. And now it's 2024. He's 26 years old, and I think that is a sign where you need to say, okay, enough is enough. I think we need to improve there. The law is slightly better. I think the law, we discussed many times, I think defensively he still has some faults, but he improved there. I think Dalot needs to improve on his passing and his crosses as well, because they are diabolical still. I mean, even at Euros, the way he crossed during Euros when he actually played, it was awful. And I think he needs to improve on that as well.
Stefan.
Yeah.
Well, he started it.
Yeah, I know they kind of did. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Well, I think. Yeah.
I don't remember like a hater.
I would
establish that.
I would agree with what Dora was saying as well. They're like, I'm sure everyone has their own thoughts on Wan Bissaka. I always thought he lost his runners, and we considered quite a few back post headers because he would lose the man running in behind him and stuff.
Anthony Gordon.
Yeah, that's the exact example that was coming into my head. Felix, yeah. So there was like examples of that. I think it's a bit disappointing. I know he's had some injury problems as well, but I think 20 million is not a bad deal if that's what West Ham's going to go with. And yeah, like I said, that could be complete profit that we can have now for cash flow and stuff. So it could be a useful sale. West Ham's not a bad move for him either. It's back to London for him, so that could be a deal that works out across all the parties. So yeah, maybe one to keep an eye out on. Looks to be hotting up anyway.
I don't know if it improves our cash flow, like because it's
with 20 million. Not.
Well, yeah, but they're not going to pay it all in one go, are they? Like they're going to do it in installments.
Maybe 10, like maybe.
I don't know. Normally, it's like a prison sentence. It's half up front and then the rest over a couple of years. Like, so we're probably getting about 7 million, like directly into the club, which is still lovely, but we do need a bit more money coming in, and maybe Sir Jim will pump some money in. But I think it's ring fenced for stadium upgrades and Cannington and stuff like that. So I would expect that. I mean, the club are moving at the moment. Like, we've taken Sancho off the market because we can't sell him, which is, I think, a good move. We're not wasting time. And like Wan Bissaka,
do you think that as well? Do you think as well with the Sancho one? Sorry, bath time. That do you think that with the Sancho one, it's a money saving thing as well? Because let's be honest, they've seen Anthony for the whole season, and know that he's not going to be able to do what they need to do. Do you think it's the fact that they know Jadon Sancho is a better player and they're hoping him being with his mate Rashford, again, that maybe that'll improve maybe the output of the team on the right hand side?
I think that Sancho, this is just based off what happened last year. When we had the tour, Sancho played 3 or 4 games as a false 9.
Yeah.
I think that now we might actually have three or four players who can play that. Well, 3 players who can play that position, like Bruno, Xerxes, and Sancho. Like those are the 3 best suited to false 9. And do you know what? Stranger things have happened in football than Sancho suddenly turning into a good player, playing the number 9 and keeping Xerxes out of the team or something. But what what I suspect has happened is that Sancho is very, very difficult to move on. If we move him on, we take a massive hit financially, but it actually doesn't really matter too much, that hit, because it's not real, to be honest. Like, if we lost 30 million on Sancho, all that happens is it goes into the books as a 30 million loss, and we make 650 million a year. And 85% of that we can spend on wages. So it's not actually a huge deal, that going in as a loss. But what I think is the big deal is that United don't have a lot of time. We've got to get players in before the pre-season tour, or at least done. And I think that a lot of that, they've been quite mature, realised there's no appetite for Sancho on the market, have integrated him back into the team, and now we've got to be looking a central midfielder, a centre back, and then maybe a fullback.
Just quickly, want to say hi to Platonic. He's saying Sancho, our top players, both will score plenty next season. And also, he had a bit of an issue with the price for Wan Bissaka. He's saying 15 million for Wan Bissaka is insanity. And he reckons it should be about 35 mil, considering we paid.
He's got a year left on his contract.
Well, it's market forces as well. Like, if we could sell him for 35 million, we would sell him for 35 million, but the market will only pay 15 million for him.
I just want to say big up to Flex Felix as well. How you doing, man? He says, so far we have 35 in sales, 20 million spent in transfer budget. There's 12 million on Xerxes and 8 on Euro. So we are still 15 million net spend as well. Good maths, quick maths there by Flex Felix, the accountant.
It's not good. It's not good maths.
No,
it's not, because none of this matters, right? United can spend 250 million, like, legally, without getting into trouble. Like, it doesn't matter how much we're paying for these players. What matters is the cash that we have that we're able to spend. So when you say, like, we're 15 million net in profit or whatever, none of that is important. It's about cash reserves. That's the most important thing. If we had 300 million in the bank, we could go and spend 200 million on players tomorrow, and we would still not be in breach of UEFA or Premier League rules.
Big up Montreal MEFCs. Talk about Gareth Bale at Real Madrid. They took an L with his contract and did what was best for the playing squad. So regardless of, the issues we have, maybe we should get rid of players, I think he's suggesting there. And Chat Sports saying here, I'm not sure where the goals will come from next season. That's something we will discuss probably in the eye test, or when we be closer to the season, once we see more pre-season games with better performances, eh?
Yeah. I've got something to show you that I thought was quite cool. Am I allowed to show it?
Yeah, as long as we're not going to get banned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm already banned. Doesn't matter. Can't type in my chat. I thought that this was quite cool, right? I found this from 2017, where on the left, that's Jason Wilcox, who was the City Academy boss. And he commissioned a study, and this is linked to Sancho, actually, like after Sancho left, of like what young players are up to, why they're important and stuff. And they found that in the quarterfinal, over the last 10 years, like 8 out of 10 players had all played first-team football at 17. And on the right, you can see that Yoro has played a huge amount of football for a teenager. But I also think that this has wider implications, because Wilcox and Barada would have spoken, I think, or had a huge input into Yoro's transfer. And these kind of stats and figures and things will have been presented to him. But have all played first-team football at 17. I also think that we're going to see a huge amount of players loaned this season. Like,
Loaned
all the
in
players,
or loaned out?
Loaned out. All the players on the tour, like Harry Amas, that number 6 that had a good engine, maybe Ennis, all that kind of stuff. I think that what United are going to be looking at now is getting a lot of the young players from the FA Cup winning team to go out and play senior football. And I think it speaks to just how organised, data-driven, and kind of like in control Ineos are of their decisions. So I thought that was interesting, Stefan.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I wonder if I might do some digging about as well, just to see like from when Manu returned, what percentage of minutes did he actually play in relation to those players? Might be something as well worth looking at. But I think yeah, we've got a lot of young players that look pretty promising. I think we just got to decide who's going on loan, who's maybe going to get some first team minutes or whatever this season, because there's no point keeping them in the squad if they're just going to play 5 minutes in the third round of the AFL Cup, and then that's the entire
Yeah.
season for them. So you want to get them the development. They don't really get the development that they need playing under 21s. They need to be out there playing senior football, even if it is in League One or League Two or wherever it might be. So I think yeah, like getting good loans in will be definitely be beneficial. You want to get your players somewhere where they can both do well, get minutes, and play somewhat similar to what we would like to play, I guess, eventually. But obviously getting the minutes is the absolute key priority.
Yeah, just to add to that before I go to Dora, I like talk about these young players, and that's a great stat. It's really interesting that we put up there Bath time about the relation to these players playing at the top level in quarterfinals having good minutes at 17, 18 years old as senior football. We're seeing a lot of young players come into the game, aren't we, these days, and having an impact. So you only have to look at our very own Kobe Mainu and the wisdom that he's got. It just shows you that they're reading the game really well. A lot of these youngsters are getting educated from a young age about understanding the mechanics of football and where you need to be, what you need to do on the football pitch. And so it's, their wisdom seems to be surpassing their growth athletically. So it's good to see. I do think that in Dutch football, I'm not saying they're having any effect, but in Dutch football, they talk about technique and things first before physicality. But in the Premiership, as I think Ten Hag's had a rude awakening, he's realised. I think he's realised that the physicality is such an impactful thing. So he's been mindful about who he's brought into the first team, especially young players as well. And I'm sure with the medical side of things and the physiotherapy and the training and the drills, it's all geared to prepare yourself for the ordeal of 38 games in this tough league against these massive units. You're going to walk down a tunnel and be looking up like that. My gosh, any new player coming to the Premier League will be thinking that. As like yesterday, I don't know you missed that, Mr. B and Stefan, but even our very own Casemiro was talking about the demands physically of the Premier League compared to La Liga. And so it's definitely something that we have to consider. But getting them, I agree with you, Stefan, getting players out on loan and getting them first team football seems to be the formula to move them on. Because like you said, under 23s is whack right now. If you look abroad at different systems in La Liga, they've got Real Madrid B, Barcelona B, and all these other sides playing competitive football. It's easier to sort of keep an eye on them. But we're just sending players on random loans like Rangers, Sunderland, and whoever for Diallo, for example. And there's no sort of consistency with what we want to achieve by these loans. So that area I'd like to see improved. And I do think, yeah, like Bartholomew said originally, coming to you, Dora, that should be the goal this season. We should be able to see a bit more better loan deals and more game time for these for these youngsters at a high level.
Yeah, I agree. I think modern football really I mean, even in the past, you guys would know. In the past, you had, Michael Owen started really early, Rooney started really early. You had so many, players starting really early. But there was like a notion that, until 26, 27 years old, the players are still developing. This is going to be their prime, and after that, they're going to have amazing 5-6 years or whatever. And it's really interesting how modern football really decide, okay, these guys, these teenagers are going to, the talented individuals at least, they are going to play football, but we are going to make sure that we have them available from the minute one. okay, they are developing, but we are going to give him a chance. So, for example, Lamine Yamal, I mean, he's, Barcelona Academy and all that, but, we saw him, even at Barcelona, but we saw him, at Euros, playing against big guys, people who are, that could be his father, that could be his father, dads or whatever. Like, it's, clubs and these parents of these footballers are investing massive amounts of money. Sponsors are there as well, and they are, how do you say it, conditioned to just go up, go up, go up. And you know what? Only their stupidity and injuries is going to destroy them. Sometimes I'm okay with it, sometimes I'm not. I think that I'm still the old head when it comes to if 16, 17, if you are that talented at 16 and 17, of course you're going to get a chance. But I feel that sometimes it's that age is really sensitive for a lot of those footballers, and that the clubs and the trainers and everyone else, they need to be careful with how they treat their youngsters.
Yeah.
I believe that United didn't do a really good job, especially when it comes to loans, especially with, I mean, look at even in the last, even post-Fergie era, we had Adnan Januzaj. He came in, he got Rangnick's number 11. He was supposed to be a big thing. He faded away. You have Jesse Lingard, Adnan Januzaj, him.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Januzaj.
You know what? It
yeah.
sounds different when you say it. Like
Adnan, because he's like.
You say it properly. You say it properly, innit? We just,
Yeah, because he is Macedonian. Like he is mixed. He has a lot of ethnicities. Good for him. But yeah, I think it's pronounced Adnan Januzaj. But yeah, look, I think we had so many people. Like even do you remember Cameron Borthwick-Jackson? Do you remember Guillermo Varela? Do you remember Tyler Blackett? Do you remember Paddy McNair? Like those.
Ravel Morrison.
Ravel Morrison is a huge one because he was supposed to be that next big thing. Like someone like Mason Greenwood. We invested a lot in that kid. Like, and it happened. He's getting sold right now. It didn't work out in the end, but we need to tread carefully. I think Kobbie Mainoo, we are lucky with Kobbie Mainoo. I think if Casemiro didn't drop off that much, I don't think we would see Kobbie Mainoo, that much at all.
You don't?
Less. I mean, look, if Casemiro played like he played 2 seasons ago,
he ain't played like that. That's a dream, Casemiro. There's no chance. No chance.
No, I mean,
no, but what did I say wrong?
No, you haven't said anything wrong.
No, you haven't said anything wrong. We just.
The thing is, Dora, right, is that like academies, like all those players you've mentioned, like Paddy McNeil, Cameron Jackson, Bothray, or whatever he was called, like going all the way back to like Luke Chadwick and stuff like that. There's a base that you can work on with a lot of players, and you can't really get it behind them, and you can't really get in front of them. With players like Kobbie Mainoo, Wayne Rooney, Yoro, hopefully.
Oh yeah, they're special.
They're special talents. And Kobbie, thing is that Ravel Morrison is the big one because he definitely had all of the ability to get where he wanted to go. So when you talk about like Kobbie wouldn't have got the chance and stuff, I think Kobbie has been a standout like all his career as someone that is sort of going to the top, and academies don't produce players like Kobbie Mainoo. It's Kobbie Mainoo who produces himself.
Yeah, that's totally right. Like, but if Casemiro played like he did in his first season, we would see much less of Kobbie. That was my point. But I mean, eventually he would, get through the first team, and he would get good. But yeah, I agree with everything you said, guys. I think we need to treat our youngsters better.
Do you want to see the transfer rumours that I found on Twitter an hour ago?
What you got?
All right, got them up here. First of all, this is Ben Jacobs has been a busy beaver today, and he says that we're stepping up efforts to sell Victor Lindelof.
my
The general consensus is that if we can clear one of Lindelof or Maguire, that opens space and finances to do the De Ligt deal. I'm going to guess that everyone except for Mr. B would prefer Lindelof to go other than Harry. Yeah?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
prefer Lindelof
Yeah.
right now to leave over Harry Maguire.
Even though he can play at fullback?
I don't
Not
care.
very
He's
well.
not good there. I mean, if he can play fullback, I can play fullback in the Premier League as well because we are playing the same way.
I'd love to see that. I'd be like Alan Wright again. Amonde, anything good to say about Lindy?
Well, yeah, he's been there a long time, and he's always been the B guy. He's never been an A side player, as in a centre back partnership. He's come in, always done a good job, been consistent, tidy player. But I just don't think if we want to be elite and move on, it's time for him to go. He had a good service, and if you're talking about overall his career, I'd give him about a 6 because he's never been commanded himself as being the main man in a centre back partnership. So yeah, I'd rather he go than Harry Maguire. I think Harry Maguire's got more in the locker.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Like Lindelof, his big problem has always been aerials. Like he's a very good passer of the ball. Like he's got a good injury record. Him and Maguire, I thought, actually had a pretty decent partnership for 2 seasons, like around COVID time.
Yeah.
And like I wish him well, but there's a comment that from a new person in it.
Johnny?
Yes.
So Johnny Hill said here, seeing Mainu makes me happy. We didn't get the job done with De Jong. De Jong's now having surgery because his body's practically destroyed.
That's a good point.
It's like going to come back like RoboCop.
I mean,
might
if
come
he
back
comes
like
back as a
Casemiro.
Robocop, why not? I mean, yeah.
He'll still be faster than Harry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Target
Get that off the
initiated.
screen.
more endorsement of Ashworth.
Yeah,
just tell
get
the story.
that.
Just take it off. I'll tell the story. I will tell the story. Guys, if you don't know, when up and coming Bath Time was a young footballer with his starry-eyed, trying to make it in the game. It was Dan Ashworth who rejected him and said he wasn't good enough, and he has held a grudge since that day. So seeing Dan Ashworth come to our club and instantly be successful, that's a sore point. So guys, if you want to wind up Bath Time from now on, just say how wonderful Dan Ashworth's doing.
Yeah. And it's great to have him at the club, at my fucking football club, front and centre. It's so annoying.
More. I want to see more of the new transfer moves. Let's get this done.
All right. Mr. B, PSG sources are adamant that more than one verbal offer has been made by United for Manuel Ugarte. United sources have been insistent that they haven't placed any formal offer. We're all huge fans of Manuel Ugarte's aerial duel records here. What are you thinking?
I just want a central midfielder in Bath Time. I know you're not impressed with his the dynamics of his play, but I can't believe that Ineos are going to get the way that they're moving at the moment. I don't believe that he would be the wrong signing. There must be something that he does. I said maybe that you don't see. I mean, I haven't seen enough of him. That, as I said, I'm still convinced he's going to be more a system player. We might never see him in there half of the pitch, but I know you said he likes to go high. So when I say
he's
go
not
high,
the only one.
press high. No, well, I mean, and this is where that's the part of it that worries me. But there has to be something that he does that the board and all of them like, because I said it's not Ten Hag's decision now. He's not the one going out and spending £8 million on Anthony and 71 million on Hoyland. It's not his doing. It's everybody. It's a collective. So I wouldn't like to think that those 4 or 5 intelligent people in there have all decided that he's enough, when obviously we, as well, more you.
Well, there has been pushback from the club reported in The Athletic that there's a bit of a split on Ugarte.
Okay, well, if there's a split, then maybe they need to move on to something else. The issue is they haven't really we haven't really been linked with anybody else. Obviously, Neves, we we can't afford, and you said he's shorter than Dora by all accounts. So we would be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
Stefan.
short king. He's a short king, but not at United. Apparently, PSG bid for João Neves today.
Oh, are they going for that little guy then?
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
it's. I mean, Ugarte most likely leaves this summer. Is it going to be United? We will see.
I think I've got a feeling that what we might get is an Amrabat situation where like
Low deal.
yeah, but where like I think we actually had the money to buy Amrabat last summer, but the scouts were like, Eric, you are out of your mind if you think that this is a Premier League footballer. And Eric he absolutely is. And we agreed to get him on a loan. I think that this might be a similar thing where Ten Hag and the coaching boys want him in, and the scouts and everyone else is sort of saying we're not sure about him matching up to the Premier League. And that, Stefan, brings me to another story, which Amrabat is not training with Fiorentina, and he's trying to force a move through to United. It's the sequel
God,
to.
no.
I know
this
what you
happened
did
last season.
summer.
Yeah, this happened. We've been here before. I don't know. I can't see us going back in for Amrabat again. I feel like the loan we got a flavor for it. We got a taste for it. And we're just kind of like, it's okay. It's nothing special, and there's probably better players out there. I actually think Johnny Hill put a really interesting player into the chat there. Zubimendi, very impressive in the second half in the Euro final, and looks pretty good. But whether or not he leaves Spain, I don't know. I think defensive mid's the interesting one. What we're going to do this summer, because I'm not 100% sold on Ugarte, and it doesn't look like United's 100% sold either. So I don't know. I feel like Xerxes and Yoro were probably unanimous decisions to go for those players. And maybe there's just a little bit of a doubt about Ugarte. Can he do the exact things we need him to do? I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out
in midfield.
Yeah, I think we need one, like maybe two. But
like, who have we
maybe
got?
that's been over ambitious.
We've got Bruno McTominay, Casemiro, Hannibal, Mainu. The new guys at Collier.
Yeah. Ericsson and Mount as well.
Dangoor.
Is Dangoor coming back?
Is he back?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks for that.
Thanks. God.
I like to his name, like, you know, like the wrestling commentators. Gore, Dangoor. He gored him. So, yeah, I like the names. Tough name. A proper footballer's name. Yeah, we are short midfielders. I agree with you there. We do need to get a bit more quality in. And this is why I know it hasn't been mentioned yet, but I'll talk about the freebie from Juve, Rabia, who's cut his ponytail and but still hasn't cut ties with his mum.
You don't tend to, though, on Monday, do you?
Well, only in birth.
Yeah,
But
nice.
the cord, don't you?
Umbilical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you take Rabiot?
I certainly would. Watched him in the Euros. I've watched him for the last few years. I think he's a quality player. And the fact he's going for free, I know it's against our strategy with what we're talking about, the 5 points of buying getting the signing in. But I think what you need a bit of experience because, as you mentioned there, Dora was putting her fingers up and she got to 3 good midfielders and then she just said, damn, F this. We're struggling.
That's a lot of likes, by the way.
What is Rabiot's? What if Rabiot came to United? I can only see him playing in Mainy's position. This is why I'm against Rabiot coming. I don't see him playing on the other side.
What do you mean? What do you mean the other side?
As in, I see him playing in Mainy's position in our team.
Yeah.
I would see Rabiot coming in and playing, and that's not the position that we need. I'm not saying we don't need cover for Mainu at 18, unbelievable. You know what I mean? But Mason Mount's there at the club, earn some bloody money. If that's the case, and that's where he's going to be played, earn your 250 grand a week, and sweat up the number 7 shirt that you're wearing. You know, so if that's what it is, fine. So I don't see Rabiot being the profile of player that we're looking for on Monday, to be fair.
Fair enough. Yeah, accept that. But I do think he's good enough, and I just think for someone going for free and for a temporary job, if we're going to talk about getting like someone on loan as a temporary thing, the loan players aren't going to be as good as someone like Amrabat. It will give us a big leap forward, I think, with someone with that sort of quality. Stefan, I know you must agree with me on this one because you've watched Euros, you've watched the last couple of years. I know I've heard you talk about Rabiot before. And you
don't let him blackmail you into an answer. He does this all the time.
Joe, I feel I know what Mr. B is trying to say as well. Like, he's not a number 6. He's not going to be the holding guy in midfield. He's not going to be a number 10 and come in and take Bruno's spot. So his only spot would be that kind of position where Cobby's been playing. Whether or not you want to play Manu every single week, or if you want to give him some kind of cover, I don't know. I feel like we've got a lot of players in the same kind of positions. When you think of Bruno and Mount and Eriksen, they're all kind of more advanced. Manu likes to come forward. McTominay, he's best going forward as well. So in terms of actual guys who are going to sit, there's not really that much in the books. I don't know if the plan's going to be to have Collier as some kind of a backup or something this season, but I think that's where we need to be targeting that number 6 position. I think Casemiro could be an important player to move on just because of the financial constraints and stuff of his wages and still paying off that deal. But I don't know. On a free, it could depend on wages and stuff as well. Maybe, I don't know.
I think that you run into the problem with Rabiot of Eriksen and Casemiro. Like, Rabiot is a great player, and really, really importantly, he's left-footed. And it would be nice to get a left foot into our midfield. Like, opens things up a bit more. He's got a great engine. He's got quality. He's performed at the highest level. He would undoubtedly be a really, really good player. But the issue is his age and his wage. Because Eriksen was a free. We gave him, I don't know, like 5 million signing on, and he's on about 200k a week. We can't shift him. Not even the Saudis are taking like Eriksen off us. So in 2 seasons, if Rabiot loses his legs or he can't adjust to the Premier League or he causes problems, like, we're just stuck with another financial millstone around our neck, draining money out of the club. And I know that's a worst case situation or scenario on Monday, but I think that we can't be short-sighted and do what we've done like for years and sort of get like guest stars in for a season like Cavani or something. Or Bacala, and then just sort of just keep them and like have to pay them off, and they eat up places in the registered squad. I think I like him as a player a lot, but I think long term it's a really poor move to get someone like Rabiot in.
Fair enough. I'll accept that. Good argument, guys. Good argument. I still think he's a quality player. It's just, yeah, if you're talking about, I'm talking about the football side of things. I'm not actually didn't address the financial side of things and the wages. There's so many good comments coming in about, oh, he'd cost 250 grand a week and that kind of thing. These are factors I didn't consider. I'm talking about just on pure football. I think he'd be a good fit for what we need right now. Anyway, that's enough from me.
Right, should we end it, guys? It's like we've done an hour and 15 minutes and Dora's yawning.
I'm always yawning. I mean, it's past my bedtime.
Sorry,
It's past my bedtime. Like, I was supposed to be in the bed an hour ago at 10 o'clock. I told you, I'm a grandma. Just kidding. No, don't worry. It's just, a reflex. Right. I'm not that tired.
Sorry, Dora, wear your glasses today. I loved your glasses yesterday. It was talking point.
Oh my God.
Yes, here we go. Okay.
Yes. You didn't have that much text. I'm legally blind right now. Yeah.
Dora,
those are real
Are those your proper glasses?
No, it's my grandma's.
Thank God for that. Sorry, I was going to say, you are proper blind.
Yeah, okay. I am proper blind. Look at this. I can see shit when I put them on. That's
remind me of, remember Kenny Everett had that character, Reg, the carpenter, the DIY guy who had glasses like that. Always
right? It's,
Yeah,
I
you need
mean,
to get people
my
out
eyes
of
are
the rooms,
huge.
you know?
My eyes are huge.
You
That's
look
for
like
sure.
you're about to write the angriest review on Mumsnet ever.
That's so true. That's so true.
Oh, look,
Yeah.
guys. Look, thanks for watching. The newbies in the chat. Thanks for joining. Let's hope you subscribed. If you haven't, look, just hit the notification bell for the next show. Maybe you subscribe after the next one. United. Oh God, United philosophy. Give him a follow. Dora, she's always here. Give her a follow. On Mondays here, there, and everywhere. And bath time normally sticks with us. To be fair, loyalty, we love it, guys.
No one
This is
wants
it.
me.
We
Big up
wanted
to Rich Sports as well. I saw Rich Sports jump on today. Make sure you subscribe to Rich Sports as well. You'll also find Dora on Rich Sports sometimes as well. So yeah, we're one big community. United philosophy, man. When are you on again, Stefan? Are you on tonight, tomorrow after the evening, 7:00?
No, I'll not be on tomorrow. I have to travel to work tomorrow, so I'll be in the office till late. But I'll be on. I'll be on Friday. I'll be on Friday. You guys can catch me then. So.
You did the Rangers game watch along?
Oh, is it Friday?
Saturday.
Saturday, isn't it?
Saturday. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'll have
maybe
to see what's happening.
Maybe we'll talk. Not sure. Yeah, how's that? Guys, as I said, thanks for watching. If you are new to it, hit the button. If you're not and you've been here before, look, just give it a share. As everybody says, it helps the algorithms, but it also gives us a boost when we look back and think, oh my God, look how much people shared our feed. So guys, look, as again, thanks for watching. This is Agenda. We are all out.
Good night.